Ares, the frenzied god of war, is the son of Zeus, the thunderer, and Hera. Yet Zeus holds no love for him. Often does he tell his son that he is the most loathsome of all the gods upon Olympus. Zeus detests him for his bloodlust. Were Ares not his own offspring, he would have long ago cast him into the bleak depths of Tartarus to languish alongside the Titans. The heart of fierce Ares finds joy only in cruel battles. Raging, he rushes amidst the clangor of arms and the cries and groans of slaughter, clad in glittering armor and bearing a massive shield. Close at his heels follow his sons, Deimos and Phobos, Terror and Fear, while beside them stride Eris, the goddess of discord, and Enyo, the goddess of carnage. The battle seethes and thunders, Ares exults. Warriors fall with a moan, and Ares triumphs as his terrible blade strikes home and hot blood soaks the earth. He strikes without distinction, right and left. Mounds of corpses rise around the ruthless god. Yet, for all his ferocity, victory does not always crown his head. Often must he yield on the field to Pallas Athena, the martial daughter of Zeus. She overcomes Ares through wisdom and the calm assurance of her strength.
Even mortal heroes occasionally prevail over him when bright-eyed Athena lends her aid. Thus did the hero Diomedes pierce Ares with a bronze spear beneath the walls of Troy. Athena herself guided the blow. A terrifying cry erupted from the wounded god, echoing far through the ranks of Trojans and Greeks alike. It was as if 10,000 men had screamed at once as they charged into the fray. Shaken by terror, both armies trembled, while Ares, shrouded in a dark cloud and covered in gore, fled to his father Zeus to complain of Athena. But Father Zeus would not listen to his grievances. He harbors no love for a son who delights only in strife, slaughter, and war. Even when Aphrodite, the fairest of goddesses and wife to Ares, hastens to his aid in the heat of battle, the beloved daughter of the Thunderer emerges victorious. Warrior Athena fells the beautiful goddess of love with a single blow. Weeping, the eternally young Aphrodite ascends to Olympus, pursued by the triumphant laughter and mockery of Athena. It is not for the delicate, flighty Aphrodite to meddle in bloody combat. Her power lies in awakening love in the hearts of gods and mortals, a power through which she sovereignly rules the world.
None can escape her dominion, save for Athena, Hestia, and Artemis. Tall and slender, with delicate features and golden hair that rests like a crown upon her head, Aphrodite is the embodiment of divine beauty and unfading youth. When she walks in the radiance of her splendor, the sun shines brighter and flowers bloom more luxuriantly. Wild beasts emerge from the thickets to follow her. Birds flock to her in flight. Lions, panthers, and bears gently fawn upon her as she moves proudly through the forest, guarded by her own effulgence. Her companions, the Horae and the Charites, serve her, clothing her in radiant garments and crowning her with a shimmering diadem. Aphrodite was born near the island of Cythera from the snow-white foam of the sea. A gentle, caressing breeze carried her to Cyprus, where the young Horae greeted her as she emerged from the waves. They draped her in gold-woven robes and crowned her with fragrant blossoms. Wherever she stepped, flowers sprang up in abundance. Eros and Himeros led the wondrous goddess to Olympus, where the gods greeted her with loud acclaim.
Aphrodite bestows happiness upon those who serve her faithfully, as she did for Pygmalion, the great artist of Cyprus. Pygmalion shunned women and lived in solitude. One day, he carved a statue of a maiden from shimmering white ivory.
It stood in his workshop as if alive. It seemed to breathe, to be on the verge of movement and speech. Pygmalion fell in love with his own creation. He adorned her with jewels and silks, whispering, "Oh, if only you were alive." On the festival of Aphrodite, Pygmalion prayed, "O golden Aphrodite, give me a wife as beautiful as my ivory maiden." He dared not ask to animate the stone, but the sacrificial flame leaped high, a sign his prayer was heard. When he returned home and touched the statue, he felt a heartbeat. The stone had turned to warm flesh. The goddess had granted him his bride. Yet those who reject her gifts are punished without mercy. Such was the fate of Narcissus, the proud son of the river god Cephissus. He loved only himself. When the nymph Echo, cursed by Hera to only repeat the last words she heard, fell in love with him, he cruelly spurned her. Echo faded away in grief until only her voice remained. Aphrodite, angered by his coldness, punished him. One spring, Narcissus stopped to drink from a crystal-clear spring. As he leaned down, he saw his own reflection and was seized by a consuming love. He tried to kiss the water, but the image vanished at his touch. "I fear I have loved myself," he cried in despair. He wasted away by the water's edge, pining for the reflection he could never hold. As he died, Echo repeated his final farewell. Where his body had been, the nymphs found only a white flower with a fragrant heart, the Narcissus.
Even the goddess of love was not immune to the pangs of the heart. She loved Adonis, a mortal of such beauty he surpassed the gods. For him, she left Olympus to hunt in the forests of Cyprus. She warned him to avoid dangerous beasts, but one day a great boar gored him. Finding his lifeless body, Aphrodite wept inconsolably. From his blood she caused the delicate anemone to grow, and where her own blood fell from feet torn by briars, crimson roses bloomed. Zeus, moved by her grief, decreed that Adonis spend half the year in the underworld with Persephone and half the year on earth with Aphrodite. Thus all nature rejoices when Adonis returns to the sun's light. Aphrodite executes her will through her son, Eros, a playful, fickle, and sometimes cruel boy with golden wings. He flies swifter than the wind, armed with a golden bow and arrows that never miss. His shafts bring joy, but often they bring the agony of unrequited love. Even Zeus and Apollo have suffered from his whims. Beside her also flies Hymen, the young god of marriage. On snow-white wings he leads wedding processions, his torch burning bright. Maidens call upon his name to bless the union of the young and to bring lasting joy to their lives.